remix.
Bachelor Nation, will you accept this rose? We love you. Love is in the air. It's magic. 'Cause love is on the air. On TV. So love is on the air. Podcast. It's a podcast. Podcast. Love is in the air. It's magic. 'Cause love is on the air. On TV. So love is on the air. A podcast. It's a podcast. Featuring Andy, Sarah, and Glenn. Bachelor Pod, it's the Bachelor Pod, it's a podcast about the Bachelor.
Will you accept this podcast?
And it's another episode of the Bachelor Pod. In case you skipped the first 15 seconds where the theme song would have told you exactly that. And it's a new theme song. We have shed the skin of our former selves. We hope you enjoyed the remix.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
I haven't heard it yet either.
But
I
wait.
emailed it to you the other day, but
I know.
Time to celebrate. Woo!
Woo, 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 woo. Celebrating a lot of things.
Canada, our home and
native
land. Benoit is in the Winter Games, everyone.
Guys, we're so happy to announce. We're going to get right into it.
Yeah.
Benoit from the Canadian Bachelorette. He's here. He has arrived for all of you to know.
So if you guys remember, some of you, I think, listened to our Canadian Bachelorette season that we did. But also, Benoit did creep into our regular Bachelorette podcast after that.
Yeah.
He's a French-Canadian man, is quite passionate.
Very passionate.
And he will be in this new Bachelor Winter Games season.
Thankfully, Bachelorette Canada host Noah Cap will not be appearing on the show, much to Benoit's delight. Benoit, great to have you here. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm so happy to be a part of the Winter Game.
What's going to be your best sport?
Oh, I have so many at a good sport for me. Like I am from Quebec, so I can do a good skating and skiing, either one, or also even kissing.
Oh, that's right.
Now,
Benoit really likes to give a forceful smooch, much like Ari, I guess.
Yeah, it didn't end at kissing. There was licking and touching.
Yeah.
Oh, I like to get in there with my tongue as well, eh?
Yeah.
So this is taking place during the Olympics, Benoit. So what are some of your favorite Canadian Olympic heroes of the past?
Oh, you have to, if you're going to name the Canadian Olympic athlete, you got to say Elizabeth Manley.
Oh, figure skating. Yeah.
Figure skating. Mario Lemieux. He is a personal favorite of mine.
Yeah.
And also Elvis Stoikos.
Okay. And
Wow.
So there's going to be some love involved in this season as well. It seems like a bit of a bachelor pad. Who are you? What kind of traits are you looking for in a lady to possibly fall in love with during the Winter Games? And will he also lick and maybe use to your advantage to win everything?
If you have salty or tasting skin, I want to lick it because it tastes like a pretzel or something.
How do you know if his skin
like
is salty?
Like a smoked meat from Montreal.
How do you know if something's salty, like skin?
I don't know. I asked the girl, hey, girl, do you have a saltier skin?
Oh, I feel like you're not going to go far
I
in
think
the love
this is
department.
going to be a big hit. Hey, Benoit, it's going to be a big hit.
And you're doing it with Kevin, right? That's the other Canadian.
Yeah, and he won your season. So do you have any hard feelings toward Kevin? Are you two buddies or what?
We are good friends, Canadians, both of us. So we get to watch hockey together and hang out. I just am so happy they don't have that Noah Cap on there, eh? That guy.
What? We've been meaning to ask you, what is your problem?
Yeah, he seemed pretty. He cheered you on. He was happy you were doing it.
Oh yeah, he say he's happy, but he is out to get Benoit always, eh?
Do you think Chris Harrison might be out to get you as well?
Oh, I don't know about Harrison. I never met him before, but maybe I will this time, and maybe he is better than Noah Cap, although that is setting the bar pretty low.
So you're going to have Ashley I, which is a huge personality in the Bachelor franchise, and you also have Dee Dee Baby, who has really been a player
Oh yeah, he is a bit of a fuck boy, as they say.
Yeah. What would that be in French?
Oh, that's
Fuck garçon.
fuck garçon,
Garçon fuck.
garçon fuchs. That is how you say it, for sure.
Great.
So Benoit, we those of us who have seen the promo that you kind of had a big line there. Why don't you leave us with your big line that I think really sets the tone for the whole thing?
Yeah.
All right, Bachelor Nation, let the game begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Benoit.
Benoit, thank you. Oh my God, he just flew away
flew
while
away.
holding a Canadian flag, like
He-
like Mary Poppins, and took him up into the sky.
The Mary Poppins theme with the characters on our
Runs
show
deep.
runs
Yeah,
very
runs
A
deep.
lot of influence.
A lot of magic happening here, guys. Basically.
That's right. There's a lot
That
of
was
magic
crazy.
on this
You
podcast.
left the room.
You know
Why?
what? I went to use the bathroom for a second.
Yeah.
I
Seemed long.
Yeah, well, you have to go number 2 sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Or as Benoit would say, Dieu.
Dieu.
Numéro deux.
I must take adieu.
Excusez-moi. C'est le deux.
S'il vous plaît, oui.
S'il vous plaît.
Anyway, we hope we're not offending anyone.
No, I was gonna
No.
say, if any of our French Canadian listeners are out there, I just adore Quebec, and I
I used to live in Ottawa,
Yeah.
which is right beside it, and actually everyone who works downtown has to pretty much be bilingual. And if you become bilingual in the Canadian government, you'll make more money and go much farther. So it's very
That's
important.
true.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's a
It's
little Canadian
it's a
government information.
Money maker up in this country. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get
Sure.
it.
Yep.
It's a big thing. So I don't know about you guys, but I loved this last episode of The Bachelor. I honestly,
Yeah.
I give it like a 10 out of 10.
I was
Wow.
thinking
I
that
want.
while we were watching it, I was thinking this was really good. Like he got deep really fast, and
Yeah.
it seemed a little more genuine on his end. Even though I gotta tell you, he's gotta stop grabbing the way he grabs them.
Oh,
He's got like
He
death
grabs
locks.
knees, he grabs necks, he grabs heads.
Yeah. At what
It's
point?
it's only a matter of time till butts enter the fray.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I bet butts have, and we're just not seeing it.
Oh,
At one
definitely.
point, he had, I think it was his first date. He had her by the head and the neck, and I
Yeah.
thought too much. Just use one of them. Pick one.
I mean, he's the kissing bandit, and bandit has a bit of a negative connotation, where you're somewhat of a I don't know the Webster's definition, but if you are a kissing
Steal.
bandit, I would imagine you get those kisses through very questionable means, and it turns out that his grabbing, etc., and not to mention his pillowy lips,
Yes,
are
that was a
definitely
big topic.
propelling him into kissdom.
And
But
I was telling Andy, he kind of reminds me of Mr. Burns. He seems a bit fragile.
interesting.
Ari Lewandike reminds you of C. Montgomery Burns.
Yeah, he's so small and skinny, and I just feel like if you took off any of his clothes, he wouldn't have like that bachelor bod. Because if you notice, there's been no shower scenes with Ari as of yet.
Yeah, no topless scenes.
No, because
You're right.
I
True,
feel
yeah.
like it's Mr. Burns under there. That's what I think.
Some people were complaining about how much foundation he was wearing this time
Yeah.
around, and I noticed that a
I
couple
noticed
times.
it. There's
His
like a-
face looks miscolored.
Yeah, it looks like really weird and like yellowy.
He doesn't need to wear makeup.
jaundice.
jaundiced.
It's probably because he's it's not even that, like, you guys, he's your age and you guys look quite young. I think
Oh,
he's
thank
just
you.
like partied hard, and he's got a bit of a rougher look, like Mr. Burns.
That Arizona sunshine will bake your skin. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to be wearing at least an SPF 30 to survive that kind of heat.
And young Ari with that floppy wave, he wasn't
Oh, yeah,
caring
young
about.
Ari.
He wasn't caring about. We've seen a lot of. I feel like they're showing like a lot of pictures of what he looked like when he was younger. To be like, we swear, like it makes sense.
He was once a boy.
Yeah, he.
Trust us, he was once a young lad.
Yeah.
Well, let's delve deep into the dates
Back
and
in
all
the
the drama
late
that
60s.
happened.
that's
That's kind of what we do in this thing, right?
Yep.
If somehow you're new, we'll do a couple characters now and then, heavily influenced by Mary Poppins, and then we'll give our own subjective opinions on the show. First date, this was big. First date of the show, and I don't know if anyone was surprised that it went to Becca, one of the Beccas.
No.
Becca, Becca, Becca. I think Jimmy Kimmel picked her as his number one.
Yeah, I think it was Becca and Becca he picked as his last
Yeah.
two.
Double Becca.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know who else he picked, because he usually picks 3 or 4, but yeah, double
I think-
Becca. I think it makes
He might have picked
sense.
Chelsea or Crystal. I don't remember. But
Yeah.
well, this date was a smashing success, and boy, did it cause some jealousy in the
Oh.
old Bachelor demolition.
I mean, that is the date I would want, because at least you're coming out of this show with a few $1,000s.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She,
Like-
she
Although
sure
those-
did.
Those
Holy.
Labo 10 heels look like the kind you'd find at Winners, or what's
no,
the American
those
equivalent?
are like the way more
Oh
expensive
no, I know,
versions.
I know, but they were. I thought they were ugly. Personally.
No,
That's
I said,
personal.
yeah, I agree. I was like, why not give her black ones? That would be a
Yeah,
huge gift for somebody.
'Cause
You can wear those
on
all the
a-
time.
on day to day. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
I didn't like the choice of shoes.
You know, as a man watching, and I love fashion, but the whole Rachel Zoe thing didn't really get me going. But her reaction to everything was great.
It got me
Like, she was
going.
genuinely like floored by all that.
Yeah.
And knowing that it would make so many people jealous as a way to stir it up, and to have her go mid-date back to the mansion
Oh,
to
that was
change,
huge.
just to flaunt all her shit was wicked.
Yeah, I saw Rachel Zoe. I was like, that's one of the biggest people they've had on the show that's willing to, like, because it can reflect on you for going on reality TV if you're like a very good designer or something.
Yeah.
And it's at that point where it doesn't really. And she's a huge designer. She designs for tons of celebrities. I just thought it was so sick, and this is the only date I've ever been jealous of.
Interesting. See, that's interesting because I was super jealous of the Demolition Derby date.
Oh, that too. That was
to do
sick.
that. I was like, man, this is a wicked date.
Yeah, that
it's
looks
perfect
fun.
for the show.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Now, this date was also the ultimate for Becca. Not only did she get a ton of fucking swag, but she was able to open up. And as we all know, in the early going of the show, if you're able to open up, you're going to be shot right to the top of that list, and you're going to last. Like, that buys you a few weeks anyway.
yeah.
I mean, not that Becca wasn't going to anyway. She's obviously great. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find someone that didn't have her at the top of your list right now after
Yeah.
that episode. But, yeah, she opened up hard about her family. Her dad died of cancer when she was 19. She said she's really tight with her fam. Ari loved that.
Yeah.
Which made Crystal's situation be like, Ari, not gonna like that.
Yeah.
I think he even said, I love that you're close with your family.
Yeah, that's
And then-
definitely important to him. The one thing I said about Crystal, though, I mean, that's easy at Christmas. You don't need to worry about
after
going
the
to
whole
2
thing
days.
about how like her brother she doesn't talk to her parents really, and her brother's homeless, and Sarah's like, well, makes Christmas easy. It's true.
Yeah.
I also love how after she said all that, he's like, that's really sad, and then like kissed her.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Grabbed her. And
that was
kissed her.
that was awkward.
But back to the. I
yeah,
guess
back
that
to
was it for
Becca.
this date, though. They just.
Well, what do you guys think of that? Literally ending the date with a bang with that lame confetti shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, just alarming.
She's sore.
Strange.
Really weird.
Why did
That
they
was-
do that?
I also think of all the dresses she could have picked to wear on the date, that one was like one of the weaker dresses, I thought.
I thought
Of the
it
one
was
she-
form fitting, but yeah.
And I think that's why Ari liked it the most.
Yeah.
I don't
But,
know what's her name?
So,
Yeah.
Zoe, Rebecca Zoe or something?
Rachel.
Rachel Zoe? I don't know who that is. So
She's a designer.
good on her for expanding her brand through The Bachelor.
and Neil Lane was there right with her.
Right there.
Yeah.
I mean, Neil Lane sent one of his lackeys,
Yeah.
his like hired goons, to bring in, I don't know, pretty ugly jewelry, I think.
Pretty
Yeah.
gaudy. Yeah.
Pretty gaudy, for sure. I mean, worth
But it
lots
was-
of money? Yes, but
It was also, I mean, I know that this whole thing is about a man selecting a woman. So in its very nature, it's stupid. But to have her just model clothes while he like ate from
Yeah.
a charcuterie board was a little bit odd. But
I think I am starting. I mean, I always have kind of this voice, but I feel like it is getting a little harder to watch in some ways with how old school some of the stuff is
yeah.
and how they talk
I mean,
about
look
it.
at the Golden Globes. Time's up. Hashtag
Yeah.
time's up. Hashtag me too. I mean,
Yeah.
this is it definitely, and it all, there's the stuff that happened in Bachelor in Paradise definitely reverberating
Yes.
still this season, that the whole thing's kind of icky.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that Ari is a sleazebag,
Yeah.
which I'm trying so hard to put out of my mind so I can enjoy it more, which I think is bad. But doing that, if you take that out of the equation, if I didn't know anything about him, I'd say he's doing a pretty good job so far, except
Yeah.
for his handsiness. But,
And he's
yeah.
not attractive, but it's fine.
And yet they all seem to
Yeah.
think he's the most attractive man of all time.
I want someone to be like on any of these shows, either season, Bachelor, Bachelorette, to be like, I just am not attracted to them and I think I'm going to go. Like I would
It'd be refreshing.
love that.
It'd be really refreshing.
You're just never going to
Or-
see that, though. They're always going to stick around
they
at
wanna be
least to try and
famous.
get on other TV shows, right?
Or even just saying, I'm not attracted to him, but I'd like to get to know his mind.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll take that.
The
Or
thing that I
I
don't
want to
like,
get Instagram followers.
yeah, the thing I don't like the most about it is when they're like, it's two things really. It's like how they have to talk about him so much when he's not there, and they're obviously like faking a lot of their excitement about like his looks and stuff. But also when he's like, I'm so impressed with you. Like when he says stuff like that, like I think he said it in the rose ceremony, but I'm just like, it's so gross. Like who cares?
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, just him in that black T-shirt, she's so hot, Becca. The first
I
one,
know.
she was in all these dresses. I'm like, geez, she's gorgeous. Like she's really naturally
Agreed.
gorgeous.
She reminds me of Kobe Smulders. a bit.
Ooh, okay, yeah,
okay,
I
yeah.
get that. But him, it's just like Mr. Bird is like he just looks so frail in his little
He's a
T-shirt.
bit floppy.
Yeah.
He's floppy to me.
And I don't mind saying this because apparently he's a creep. So
when he showed up, I guess I was on the motorcycle, and they all ran to him screaming. That was like, come on.
He's an
Everyone
old man on a
grow up
motorcycle.
for a second. Yeah. Well, let's talk about date 2. This came as a shock to a lot of people in the mansion because they're expecting a group date, and bam, we get 2 one-on-ones right off the bat, which I loved. Because we've said it before on this podcast, they need to mess with the convention a little. And I thought this was a great way to do it. And this was another big date. Like if the first one, Becca got spoiled with thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. This one, a private jet back to his hometown to meet his parents and brother was huge.
One of our favorite moments is when they were driving down the street and he's like, those willows are where I had my first kiss, and it was like off the highway. It was like these
First kiss
trees
beside the
highway.
highway?
And we're like,
Yeah, like next to the strip mall.
yeah. It's like, cool, Ari.
Oh, cool,
awesome.
man.
So you probably kissed some girl when you were drunk one night in front of the strip mall.
Coming home from the Pizza Hut you worked at.
Yeah. Nice
I also,
story.
maybe this is just because I live in Canada, but when I saw how nice his high school was, I was like, yeah, right, that was his high school. Like, it looked brand new.
Looked like a Catholic school.
Oh, yeah. The Lewandijks. I don't know. Are Dutch people Catholic? Dutch Catholic?
I don't know. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know enough about the Dutch.
So Crystal, Ari gave the impression that Crystal impressed his folks and stuff, but I saw very little chemistry.
I agree. I think Ari's sister like doesn't like her.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it could be editing or whatever, of course, but like there was one moment where like Crystal said something so stupid, and then they showed Ari's sister, and she was like, "What?" Like the look on her face was like not impressed.
Also,
Crystal.
Sorry.
Oh, Crystal looked like Ari's mom.
Yeah.
A bit, yeah. Good call, yeah.
That was a bit odd. The odds of him picking a blonde are pretty high, I think, based on Emily and his family and stuff. So that's something to consider going forward.
His house is pretty small.
Yeah, very modest. I
Yeah.
was surprised by that. It was sparsely decorated in the style of a single man on The Bachelor, but yeah, it was like in a townhouse complex. Fairly squat.
But I just worried that like Ari in general isn't the whole package of like of what you like. Usually it's a wealthy individual that is the Bachelor, right? Or the Bachelorette.
Well, not really.
That's how it started, though, right?
That is how it started.
I remember when Andrew Firestone, what was he, season 2, I think.
Yeah.
The whole thing was like he's the heir to the tire company, and that's what made him the Bachelor. He'd be a catch because he's rich and young.
Yeah.
It's like, how is this guy single? Which they've kind of gotten away from. I mean,
That's
everyone's
true.
job is so vague now.
You know, especially now since it's like
I guess
they just
Nick
cast
wasn't that.
Yeah, no, he's like a software salesman.
He
or
lived with
something.
his friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
that's
been to
right.
the house.
You've been to
It's
that place.
fine.
Yeah, I think they've really gotten away from that, especially with this guy, his tiny little.
And we talked about that last season. It's like, I wish they'd just find some anonymous billionaire to put on the show again. Like, get out of the farm system and start something new. That would be fucking awesome.
Well, because
Yeah.
it's getting so inside and it's getting so like it's like twirling down into so much more sadness and stuff involved with everyone.
Yeah.
I find.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way I see it, Crystal's got like a one-way ticket to hometown with this date because
Yeah.
they did the baby pictures, they did the home videos, they did the family, and Crystal was very hesitant to open up. I think she even was like, I don't know if I should because I think like it might be negative. It's like, well, have you ever seen the show before? You got personal stuff is the fuel that fans the fire or whatever, feeds the fire. And then she brought up her whole family thing, and Ari was like, in the end, I think he had a talking head where he was like, I want to give her a life of stability. Like I don't know.
I think it's a weird way to start a relationship. I know people who are like that like, they need me to be with them kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't want that. Because I don't think that's true for her. She doesn't need you for stability. She's stable right now. Like, she's an independent woman who has a career. Like, she's fine. How about you just coming into it being like, I think we can bring this and this for each other. He's an odd dude, man.
Yeah, that's the weird power dynamic the show like fucks with, right? It's like the whoever the bachelor or bachelorette is, like, they're choosing all these people who want them. It's like it just sets the balance off. It's such a weird, like, no real relationship really starts like that, like.
Yeah, exactly. It's like an episode of Black Mirror or something. It's weird.
I bet it will be eventually an episode of Black Mirror, some dating
just
thing.
an episode of The Bachelor.
Yeah, it's very
yeah.
That's strange. It seems like that was a middle season episode of one of the Bachelors that I just watched, but I swear it was Black Mirror.
But after the date, she like was all vague.
Yeah, this was brutal.
Yeah.
And she's just acting like, I'm like, you're just paving your way to be shit on. Like,
and I know there's the whole trope, like, I'm not here to make friends, it's all about him. But I think a big part of the show is also getting along with the people in the house. And the only person who's ever won who hasn't done that was Courtney. And that's just because Ben was an idiot.
And then it ruined their relationship.
Yeah.
They talked
Villains
about it.
don't win. Villains stand out.
Are they supposed to win?
And they continue their careers.
She's not trying to be.
No, I don't think she is.
She's just
but
a dummy.
she's doing it.
She reminds me of the kids in high school that had a rough upbringing, but were super attractive, and they didn't know how to deal with the attention they got. You know what I mean? I don't know how to. Did you guys have kids like that were kind of like had a weird upbringing? It's not their fault, and that's kind of how I look at her. I'm like, you've been so tough your entire life and on your own that you feel like. And then when you get this attention from people you don't know how to deal with. It just reminds me of a girl from my
Just
high
tell
school.
people what his house looked like, though. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
just tell
what I
them.
mean.
Who cares?
But her information is power, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't have any power.
It's interesting because you guys are right. I don't think she's trying to be a villain, which is different than a lot of other villains. Because you can tell when she was being vague, it was because she genuinely was scared that people were going to get all mad at her. I think that's why. I don't think she was
it's power.
withholding it. Really? I thought it was like she didn't want to stir the pot. No, but she didn't realize that by not saying anything, she's stirring the pot even more or something. I don't know. She seems pretty clueless with interpersonal relationships.
I would believe that more if what happened during the rose ceremony hadn't happened. She knew what she was doing there. That isn't, like, we can't let that just be up in her head.
That's true. There is that part.
Yeah.
I don't think she's being like Chelsea, who's like, I'm going to be the villain this season, and that's what my role's going to be because I'm saying all this brutal shit. This is like, she probably was popular in high school. You know there were some popular kids that were really great, and there were some popular kids that were assholes. And I feel like she's a popular kid who was an asshole, but it's not her fault that she was an asshole, I guess. I don't know how to explain it.
I mean,
but she uses power. She uses what she has as power, and instead of making friends, she uses power.
Yeah, she uses it to, like, separate herself, kind of. And that's definitely what she's doing there by being vague and secretive. It's like, people aren't going to like that.
You listened to Becca's story, right? Like, you probably asked her a question. She probably answered it. Answer theirs. It's only fair.
During Becca's date, just real quick, also, I've remembered there was a really funny part where Crystal was talking about, like, the motorcycle and how she wouldn't have gone on the motorcycle because her dad was in a motorcycle accident. And then, I can't remember who it was she was talking to. Maybe it was one of the Laurens. And they were like, well, it's a good thing you're not on that date. Okay. Yeah. Good then, right?
Yeah, burn on you. You wouldn't have got earrings and a dress and shoes.
Yeah, like what was she talking about? Anyways.
But that whole sentiment sort of came back in the group date, which, as we mentioned, I loved. But Annalise had a very odd reaction
so
to
funny.
Demolition Derby. And had it been something like I was in an awful car
course.
accident, and this is really kind of
That's what I thought it was
totally
going to be.
fine. But to have a traumatic bumper cars experience where nobody got hurt,
It was
pretty funny.
That's
one
pretty
of the
funny.
funniest Bachelor moments ever, I think, because it's like it's so typical of their situation that people have stories that make them upset and can't do things, but it's the most ridiculous one I've ever heard.
Yeah, easily.
She was on what happened on the ride she was on. What's supposed to happen happened, and it made her upset. Like that, she went in
Nobody
knowing
hurt. Everyone's fine.
everyone's fine. You got bumped by cars on a bumper car when you were like 4 and you were trapped, and it's like, man, I got stuck on rides sometimes. That I remember I went to the Snow White ride at Disneyland, and it's so scary, and I
Snow
cried.
White
Yeah,
ride?
yeah, it was really scary because you're in boats and there's like. You're going through these murky water boats and things kept popping out at you, but it was 4 kids. It was terrifying. But it's like, I can still go in boats and shit. But afterwards, I cried like crazy. I remember the whole thing exactly. It was very scary for me when I was a kid.
I burned Liv pretty hard because, and it's not the same, but I still burned her. Liv, we miss you dearly. But about her fear of cats is largely due to a cat just jumping on her bed or something when she was
Yeah.
not even
8.
attacking her.
Yeah, it jumped on her bed and scared her.
It ran around the room very
Now,
fast.
to her credit, she just doesn't like animals. Like,
Yeah.
But Annalise definitely dropped in my personal ranking.
Oh my God, what
She
a
was my
doy-oy.
number 1 cover
Oh, I
in episode
know.
1, and I was like, "Oh, Annalise, get it together, man! Come on!"
Crying that hard, that's so, like, I bet Ari was like, what?
Yeah, well, they were all like that. Everyone was like that.
Like,
Oh,
the thing
yeah.
about
Relax.
Liv's fear is, like, a cat has its own brain. You don't know what a cat's gonna do.
Yeah.
Like, I get that more so. I mean, I love cats, so, you know. But I get that more than, like, a ride where exactly what is expected goes on and you're upset about it afterwards. Like, just don't go on that ride anymore. Like,
It's
don't
like,
cry about it.
It's like in Seinfeld in that episode where that army guy is working for the Peterman catalog, and at the end, Elaine's like, "So, like, what's with all the fatigues and stuff?" He's like, "Well, I was in this relationship; it was going real well. Then things cooled down. Like,
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
That's why."
Oh.
yeah,
Well,
very
it
similar.
really affected me.
I was like, when she was crying so hard, I was like, oh man, I bet somebody died in a car crash or like something really bad. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to get one of those, like, here's my history
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was, and the one random chick, I still don't know her name, she got kicked off, but who was making fun of her was
Oh,
very
Jenny.
funny. Yeah.
I was
Annie,
sad to
she
see
was your
Jenny
dark
go.
horse, Sarah.
Oh, she
Oh,
was
that
my
was
dark
your
horse.
dark horse. We were trying
Well,
to remember who.
true
was.
dark,
dark
horse,
horse. True
because
dark
she
Yeah.
was, of course, garbage and
That's
garbage.
two. That's 2 dark horses gone, right? Valerie also gone this episode.
No, you picked. Oh yeah, you did pick Valerie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh well,
Well-
burn on us. And Glenn, always we all know did not pick a dark horse, so that's fine.
Ooh.
Maybe we should change it not to dark horse, but who you think will be out next.
Oh,
Oh.
Because then you're really picking a dark horse, because then you're picking the worst person possible.
that's kind of fun.
But then if they win, you get a chocolate.
Yeah, okay. Because then you're like,
then
so
if they win, you get chocolate.
that means you're so wrong you were right. It's like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was way off based on that one, but spectacularly wrong.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Spectacularly?
Spectacularly,
enunciate.
sure, yeah, yeah.
I cannot enunciate.
Spectacularly.
Anyway, this date, despite Annalise's feelings, awesome, and I want to
Sick.
do that in real life.
Me too.
And it was wicked that they got to paint the cars before and show
Yeah,
their
that was
personality.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
I wish they'd have showed more of the cars, because he was complimenting Becca's, but we didn't really get to see it. I wish
Yeah.
they'd have showed each one. I was just way into it.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch. Harrison was checked in. He was on his game.
He was.
He was burning Ari.
Because
He
this
was
is a job
interacting
he
with Bobby
wants.
Ford. Yeah.
He wants to be a sports guy. He's done a couple sports things in between seasons.
Really?
Yeah, this
Maybe
is
this
his
was maybe
dream.
his idea. Maybe it was the Bachelor Winter Games was his idea.
You know the progressive lady?
Yeah.
You know how she
Flo?
started putting like, because like she can't really do much else at this point because she's the progressive lady and she's been seen as that forever.
She's Flo, yeah.
But she started, I think she might be done now, but like in the year before she left, she started doing like more dramatic work in those commercials and like more scenic things. would
Really?
happen. Yeah, there was like, or there'd be like a little funny sketch that would be the commercial. And I was like, oh, you're stuck in this thing, but you want to do that, so you're just making it happen for yourself. And I feel like Chris is doing that by just doing all these. He's like, well, I can just do whatever I want.
Yeah,
Why not?
getting his good buddy Robbie Gordon into the
Yeah.
mix. That was pretty sweet. So in the end, I kind of thought Annalise was going to win just based on the pre thing, but she didn't. Brittany had a great turn.
Yes.
She ended up getting whiplash, but ultimately CN took it, and we got a chance to get to know CN a little more because her win really put her under the spotlight of Ari when they hit the after Demolition Derby cocktail party.
Yeah, you know what? It seemed to me that like Tia and CN were left in the end, and it felt. I mean, they didn't show who was winning. They didn't show much of it, but like it just felt like the kind of like the people who like didn't. Like it felt like Tia like didn't drive into people that much, and that's why she survived.
That's why her car was okay.
Right? Yeah. So it's kind of
good
like
call.
I don't know how to drive. I'll just stay here.
I got
She
crashed
loaded-
into.
Did she not have a license?
No, that was
No.
Bibiana.
Bibiana.
Oh yeah, love Bibiana. Whoa, yeah,
Whoa.
she's a fireball.
Fireball.
Yeah, I wanted to see more of Tia during that one. I'm almost. We still really haven't gotten as much Tia as I would like because she's got that Raven Southern charm.
I feel like, but she doesn't have Raven's charm.
No, few do.
No,
do.
She doesn't. But yeah, we'll see. You know, I'm pulling for her. I hope she makes it far. Actually.
I hope she does too. I just hope we get more shots in Gary's dresses.
Yeah, just so we can go back to Gary's dresses. Really.
It's I found out today it's a 15-hour drive from Toronto if we ever want to go. 15 hours, so that's a 2-day.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Glenn, when you're moving your chair, it's like rubbing on something and it's making a loud noise on your microphone.
Oops.
It's okay. Just like
No more rubbing. Yeah, so I think it's
15
in
hours? I would go for
15
sure.
hours. We gotta go.
And I'd buy a shirt. I'd buy a sweater from there.
We'd have to buy something. I'd have to buy something.
I was thinking the other day about the conversation to bring the slats back in.
Oh my god, and the floor. Yeah, Gary. Hey, if you like the new character of Gary, let us know because we'll bring him back.
Maggie is in love with him. Maggie, who
Friend of the
listens-
show, Maggie.
Yeah,
She was all
Maggie
who-
Maloney. She's
Yep.
a big fan. We're a big fan of hers,
Shout
but she
out Maggie, big
she
fan.
did get a stare down from someone on I think the bus, or she was out somewhere because she was cry laughing while listening to Gary's dresses.
Oh, that's great.
So they will come back. Benoit was here today. Gary will be back.
Gary will be
another
back for
day.
sure. Gary's dresses.
But
and if you live in the GTA and you're interested in going to Gary's with us, maybe we could charter a bus or something.
oh my god,
Big crew.
what a joke that would be.
What state is it in?
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I would love to go to
wow.
I've never been to Arkansas.
Me
Why
neither.
not?
Me neither. Never
That
been.
would be cool, like a random trip. Oh,
Arkansas.
live sighting.
Ooh, lift sighting in the
Whoa,
back.
if you're watching on YouTube, live sighting. So lost in a lot of this episode was Chelsea, who a lot of people thought was going to have a huge impact, not only this episode but going forward. She had stirred up a little controversy during this cocktail party when she made that aggressive first move, which I do not falter for.
Nope. Never
No.
do. And I thought actually she
That's
handled
fine.
it quite well when she came back and she's like, "Hey guys, I wanted to grab him so I could tell him about that that
Yeah.
I'm a mom." And it's like, because that's really important to me. And I think everyone was kind of like, "Well,
No,
oh,
they
okay."
said no. They were like, that
Well, they were all
doesn't
mad at her.
discount our
Yeah.
stories and everything.
No, that was what they said to.
No, that was to Chelsea.
No, that's what they said to Chelsea.
Oh, I thought they said that to Crystal.
No,
But I agree. I think she handled that about as well as she could have.
Yeah.
yeah, and she had the balls to do it. Like I don't. Just because those are just a bunch of like insecure people, jealous that someone was at least secure enough to make that first move, and they all wish they had done it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If they had any of them had thought of it and had the guts to do it, they all would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Exactly.
You gotta be bold.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's anyone's game. It's not like she did anything special. She just knew exactly. It's like buzzing in on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
You just got to know when to push the button. Like,
Can't get that timing.
so we got to know Sienna a little better. What do you guys think about her? Pretty
She-
solid. Huh?
I
She
really
swept
like
us away.
Cien.
Like CN, yeah.
Yale.
Yale, yeah.
Yale educated. Been to Brazil once.
Yeah. Well traveled.
Yeah, because
Also
like
to Italy, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
I
there's so
believe
many people on the show. They're like, I haven't been out of the United States. It's
Yeah.
like she's like had a life before this thing. I found it odd that she was on it afterwards, frankly, because I was like, you went to Yale and now you're dating Ari.
Good
Ooh.
move.
trying to
Real
date
weird.
Ari. Like, you
Well,
know
they're
what I
all
mean?
dating him.
I know they're all
Because
technically
they all-
dating him, but
that's
it's like,
one of the
But
creepiest
most of them are
things.
trying to date him.
It's the creepiest thing about this show, I think, is that afterwards, men and the Bachelor and Bachelorettes all call them all their ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriends. Like, they talk about them in real, like, well, the last guy I dated, my last boyfriend, and then, like, but it's like, yeah, when it was like, you were either dating 20 other people or he or she was dating 20 other people. It's so weird.
That is weird.
Because that's what
Yeah.
Caitlyn did at the wedding of Doyoy there, and Doyoy singing Doyoy.
Oh,
and
right. Evan and Carly.
Yeah, Evan and Carly. She was like, "Oh, look at all my ex-boyfriends are here," and I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, that's
I
weird.
mean, that's a good joke though.
But they
is
serious.
a
That's
good
what they call them. They're like, "I dated."
Yeah,
her."
no, I know.
When they're
I've
on
seen it
Paradise, they
too.
talk about the
Yeah.
person they dated. It's
Yep.
like, come on.
It is weird.
So during this after party and throughout the whole episode, Ari, as the kissing bandit, was kissing, but arguably the hottest kiss of the night and the weirdest kiss because of their massive age gap was with Becca, who he was really
Yeah.
you probably had a boner.
Oh, he had a boner for sure. I was telling Andy, I'm like, imagine kissing a 22-year-old.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird to think
They're-
about, and it's
they're
not
not-
weird for him, and that's weird.
As a 35-year-old at 20, and this is no offense to 22-year-olds, but they do not feel grown up to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
she's
there's-
going to change a lot in
Yeah.
the next few years.
There's a big difference there.
Yeah,
That's
more
a
like
sizable difference in like what you reference and what you know and talk about and all that kind of stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
just
And-
I
I mean, it's a double standard for sure against men, kind of. But me as a woman, kissing a 22-year-old man, ugh. It's like
Yeah.
kissing a child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of men feel that way too. And it's like, it's not anything bad on Becca. I'm also surprised that she wants to kiss Ari.
Exactly.
Right.
It's totally her choice. If she wants to kiss Ari, she can go ahead and kiss Ari. But we did find out she did the thing. She flipped him. He's pursuing her now and had been since he saw her. He's like,
Yeah.
you look so cool coming in that car. And I was like, does she even like me? And we've seen it a million times before. Those people are the ones that generally either win or are
Go
like the
for it.
first runner up.
Yeah.
And then when she said her line, I'm simple, I'm no drama, I'm easy to please. That was like 3 things that every man wants to hear. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like she knew exactly what she was doing.
I should have a shirt that says, I'm not simple. Sometimes I cause drama. It'll take a bit to please me. I have standards.
Difficult to please. Yeah,
Difficult
I'm
to
complicated, I'm dramatic, I'm hard to please.
But let's do this. Yeah. We didn't also last week talk about this question she asked him that first night when she was like, what are 3 things about life that excite you? And one of his answers was excitement.
Excitement. That was one of the worst. Oh my God. Like, you can't come up with something better than that.
Yeah.
Even if I'm trying to think what I would have said.
Yeah,
if
what
I was-
would we have said,
I-
guys? What would we have said?
Realistically, I would have said
I mean
Hockey-
pizza was a pretty
hockey-
good answer.
hockey, movies, and food.
Okay, I like that. What about you, Andy?
Oh man. 3 things that excite me
In life.
Like,
in life.
picture being asked that and like, you got to answer right away. What would just coming into your
Like,
head?
I'm asking you it. Like a woman's asking you this.
Okay, what excites me?
Real though.
Okay, real performing live.
Yeah.
Performing food. I
Okay.
love eating food. It's one of my number one favorite
Yeah,
things
food's
to do.
up there.
Food's right up there. And playing video games.
I didn't fit in.
Beauty.
I was wondering if I'd fit in there.
Oh, I thought you meant like I wasn't with you.
No, it's like, what about life excites you?
Well, you excite me.
It's fine, Andy. You don't need to say it. But
You said it was a
Ooh,
woman asking me. I
drama.
thought it was like,
well, like
I'm
he
the
should have said
Bachelor.
love to her, right?
Love.
Like
Love
it
is
should have
exciting,
been something.
certainly.
Well, it's an easy, yeah. He should have the script in his mind, like love, experience, like travel.
What
or
about you?
something.
What's your thing?
What's my things? Okay, so laughter. Laughter
Laughter.
excites me, like because what I do. Laughter is my most exciting thing.
Cool.
What else excites me? I love traveling. Traveling is like a top exciting thing for me.
It's fun.
And
question.
like relationships in general with people. really is one of the most exciting things of life. I don't like being
Good answer.
alone that much.
Yeah.
So like I love, especially you, but you're like stable. But like if one of my friends really thinks of me in like a thoughtful way, I'm like, oh, so exciting, so nice.
So exciting. You really nailed that. Yeah.
But excitement and just pizza.
I mean, Ari's got a good sense of humor about it. That is his profile on his Instagram now. That's what it says.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Excited about excitement and pizza.
He does seem pretty self-deprecating, and I think he has a decent sense of humor. Like I said, I like this episode partly because I think Ari is coming into his own as a bachelor. I feel. I don't know. We'll see. But so yeah, what else happened? Oh yeah, this is where Bibiana really started to get hot under the. Is there a catch a phrase there? Hot under the hood.
Collar.
A collar. Yes, there it is. When she couldn't get a word edgewise in with old Ari there, and then she just gave up.
She gave up.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, what? This is the thing. She was like, why would I go at the end? And it's like, well, Becca's
was
there
stupid.
making out with him, having the time of their lives.
Somebody has to go at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
You'll make a bigger impact, I think. I'd always be up for going on the end, and I'd be like,
yeah, leave on a good note.
yeah. They can hang out with you for as long as you want.
She's
like,
playing herself, man.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna play yourself right out of this game, Bibiana. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
you're just, she's definitely insecure, which I am, they are, everyone is, right? But she's like letting it defeat her.
Yeah.
You can't show it. You got to look to the other girls for support because they'll help you out. Like, I know they're all out for Ari too, but at this stage in the game, I think she could have just, I don't know. I think they would have helped her out. Not Chelsea, but
Annalise was like, "Can someone hug her?" It's like,
yeah,
Then she's like, don't
like,
don't like touch
don't
me.
fucking touch
that
me.
was weird.
It was weird.
And I like Bibiana.
Me
but-
too.
Me too. Yeah.
The
So
one
it-
thing, oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say it looked like Chelsea was gonna get the rose, but thank God he gave it to CN,
Yes.
rightfully so.
Yeah.
So that was, and that was the end of Chelsea pretty much for that episode. I mean, she got a rose, but kind of a non-factor.
Yeah, she's not really playing the villain anymore. I think she stops, and I think
I think
Crystal's the
Crystal
new
sort
villain.
of takes over, and I think that's and again, it just goes to show you how much the editing and how much what the producers want you to go with.
Yeah.
Like they're going to just start making Crystal the villain more and more. I think.
Well, yeah, and what I was gonna say about their date is I thought it was cool. Like all the dates were interesting and fun, and they weren't like, I don't know, they weren't boring. They just seemed to be like, oh, I
Yeah.
get why these are happening, but I found her not genuine at all.
Crystal.
Crystal?
In her, it felt like very smiley. Even when she was telling her story,
I thought really definitely when she was talking to his family, I felt that way. too.
yeah, it just didn't feel
yeah.
like maybe it felt like she's doing this for a reason. I don't think she's Gaga for this guy. That's what I think.
Yeah, I feel that. Did you see on social media someone compared her looks to Minkus, the
Yeah.
nerd from Boy Meets World?
Oh,
Yeah. Minkus.
She's a bit Minkus-like.
She's got that Minkus face.
she's beautiful, and I like her body that it's strong, and it's not like kind of the typical body that they put on this show.
Right.
It's a good thing for young girls who watch the show to see, but her personality.
Personality, very bad. And even Bibiana later on made a reference to her voice where she's like,
Yes.
can you just talk to me like a regular fucking human being or something? Like,
Instead of
Which
this,
also is like
tone or
not
something.
fair. We were saying
And there was-
Bibiana's a bad fighter.
Bibiana is a
don't know.
bad fighter. She goes
really
pretty
bad.
harsh, pretty
Check
quick.
yourself before you check on me. It's like,
yeah.
oh, yeah.
I was like, what does that even
What?
mean?
Okay.
Her anger is going too
Yeah.
far ahead of her mouth.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Just like
Yes.
you and your face, you shut your mouth,
And then she'll get up and walk away.
and then just like so mad, and then like
Yeah.
says mic drop and leaves. Like, come on, man, that's lame.
You can't
as hell.
do that.
Yeah, you're
And-
not Will Smith in a movie saying a cool speech and
No.
dropping the mic and leaving.
You're not.
And you're too invested in other people. It's poison in the show. We know that. Like,
Yep,
yeah,
you're done.
Crystal was bullshit going to him twice in one night when she had a rose and a date already. I agree. That's shitty. But he'll pick up on that. Like, he sees it. You don't have to worry about her. Like, it's bullshit. Yeah, but you know what? If she does that, just go back and interrupt her.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean that's definitely
Or just go to it. What I said, because they closed the door, I'm like, make him go walk to a different spot. Be
Yeah.
like, let's go somewhere else because I know she's right behind the door. I don't
Yeah.
feel like be more upfront that way instead of putting it on her. And I was saying what I would do to not get myself in the position if I thought someone was really shit and I had a good relationship with them, like I got along with them well, I wouldn't say stuff like she said this and she said that, because then he can ask her about it. I'd just be like, she's a bit of a loser, right? Like, just to be like, put it that way, because he's not going to go up to her and be like, blank said you are a loser. Are you a loser?
Crystal, Sarah said you're a bit of a loser, and I just wanted to sort of ask you how you felt about that.
Yeah, no one's going to say that.
No one's doing that.
So I think that's like, if Becca did that, was like, I don't know, man, I'm cool, I'm not getting into it, but she's a bit of a loser. I think that would work.
Yeah?
Yeah. Becca's so cool. But he thinks Becca's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, he could call any of them losers, and he'd be like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's way in.
Putting that little thing in, and that's how I would do it. Even if they weren't necessarily a loser, but they were being an asshole. It's like, or if he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, she's a bit of, even if you say asshole, he'll say like, she's been saying that, you've been not being great to the rest of the women. But if someone's just a loser, it means they just kind of suck.
Yeah, that's a harsh criticism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to confront somebody
Yeah,
about
you
them
can't
being
go-
a loser.
Yeah.
If you're asking about them being an asshole, you're right. It's
You're
like,
right.
hey, someone said you were
You
being
did-
an asshole. What's up with that?
Yeah, like,
hey,
are you
someone
being mean
said
to
you're a loser. It's never going to happen.
It's like a sadder thing.
Yeah.
It's like when, again, Seinfeld, when Jerry's dating that woman and everyone's like, it's so nice that you're dating her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, she seems cool to me, but because of all this influence, he like stops dating her.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's tough for Bibiana when she finally did get time with him. There was zero chemistry. Like, I'm not surprised she got a rose because they want her to stick around. But I mean, it's not like he had chemistry with anyone else. But she was rattled. She was completely rattled by Crystal.
Yeah.
So Crystal wins that. Like,
Yeah.
Every time, yeah.
Every
and definitely
time.
the producers kept Bibiana. That's a definite producer keep.
yeah.
Because I mean, come on, they're standing right next to each other in the rose ceremony.
Oh my God.
It's
yeah.
like it was save it till the end, and Bibiana stays. Like, of course. You know what though? It's not a terrible way to survive a week when you otherwise probably should have gone home.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Like starting up shit. Like they're gonna keep you on the show as long as they can.
Let's see,
Before
even
he
now-
really loses interest in you. But like
How many followers?
it kept her on the
show.
show, 100%.
I bet she got
Yeah, it
followers
did.
out of it too.
Oh yeah, big time. So the only other thing I can remember, even barely worth noting, is that Kendall brought out her taxidermy thing finally, which I'm surprised she didn't mention to him in the first episode. But we don't know how much time they had together. And it is pretty crazy that she also brought a seal and a pickled bat with her.
Yeah.
Just for that. I would have just taken the pickled bat because you could stow that in your.
It's creepy as
Luggage.
hell. A pickled bat? Oh my God.
She doesn't have a lot of followers compared to other people. Some people already have 30,000. Oh, she's doing underwear pics. This is okay. Got some bikini. She got a nice
Pure underwear model pics.
Yeah, all her stuff is underwear model, which is interesting because she only has 8,000 followers, so she's not an underwear model. It's a lot of followers, but not compared to Bachelor people.
Good analysis. Good analysis.
Like, let's look. Guess how many do you guys think Becca has followers?
Becca who?
Becca, the young Becca. How do I spell her name?
So she's got 8,000. Okay, I'll say at this point, 35K.
How do I spell her
really?
name?
You think so? I'm gonna go with like 12.
Yeah,
How
it's
do I
fine.
spell-
Beckah.
It's only been 2 weeks, I guess.
I saw someone retweet her on the first night, and then I as our Bachelor Pod account looked at her profile, and I think she only had like 85 followers, even like well into the episode. So now obviously that's exploded obviously now, but like they start pretty low. A lot of these people, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't find her on here. Anyways, I
Nuts.
follow her already, but
Let's see if I can find it on my PC.
Oh, is this a new computer?
No.
Oh,
I guess I used that phrase wrong. But
Well, I mean,
big
did
news.
you-
I'm going to get a new computer pretty soon.
Ooh, a personal computer. I mean, it's not necessarily wrong to say that if it's a Mac, right?
Yeah,
I got
this
it.
is technically. Yeah.
okay, how
Okay.
many followers do you think she has?
I said
guys?
she had 12,000.
What do you think, Glenn?
And I said 35K.
47.7.
Thousand.
Whoa.
Wow. And Bibiana only has 8?
And she had like 35. Like she's popping. Becca's
She is popping.
Yeah, she's popping.
I guess 2 weeks will do that to you, but wow.
Yeah.
Just based
Wow.
on the Bibiana numbers, I thought
Yep.
there's no way she broke like 20,000.
Well, and let's see. Like, there's a bunch of. There's just a few other people who have a lot already.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I buy it. That's the game. That's Bachelor.
That's the game.
Social media, baby.
Yeah.
So let's talk about who got eliminated. Valerie, who works at the restaurant called Twin Peaks. She's heading back to Twin Peaks ASAP. We got our homie Lauren G from the
man.
LBC.
I'm so sad to
all
see
I could
Lauren
think
G
of
go.
was that part in Regulators hit the east side of the LBC on a mission trying to find Mrs. Lauren G. Kept saying it in my head. Well, I'm sad to see her go.
Yeah.
And
who was
Jenny,
she?
who had another perfectly awkward exit, where she said she'd never gotten broken up with before, and said she just went out real petty like.
Yeah, she's
saying
like, I'm not sad
was
about you.
Yeah, come on, man.
Which is
But
probably
I
true.
get it.
Like, I agree.
It's
I
Ari.
believe her. I just mean, like...
I made friends who I want to sell stuff with. But you know who she's getting into the territory of with that is the PA there.
The PA. What's her name? I don't remember her name.
She dated Daniel
Yeah.
Daniel.
in Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah. What's her name?
And we called her the PA forever.
Yeah, she went and...
Oh, I don't
I don't
remember.
remember anyways.
That's
Lacey?
Lacey.
Lacey, that's
She's
it.
a bit in Lacey's territory.
She her closing thing, she said, I literally came into this thinking I would end up with him. He literally picked a taxidermist over me. Stop saying literally so much.
So you were sad
I'm
that you
done.
were leaving him then. You
I'm done.
Like liar.
I'm done with the word literally. I'm sorry. It's over.
Andy hates
It's
when
dead. I
people
hate it
misuse it. He
so
literally
much.
hates when people misuse it.
Yeah, I do.
But
I
that's
really
a
do.
right.
So does Liv.
It is.
God rest her soul.
I probably don't notice most of the time.
It just really bugs me.
I do now because of you.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Because
as
you
hell.
talk about
Yeah,
it.
that's the kind of thing that should be corrected so that people
Yeah.
stop doing it.
Andy literally talks about it every day.
That's not even. See, that's not true. That
I
is
know.
not true.
I did it to make you mad.
Ooh, it worked.
Andy's literally touching his penis right now.
That's not true. My hands, look, you can even see.
What a weird thing for me to say.
Oh boy. Well, let's quickly review our picks and see where we're at.
Ooh, I'm not feeling good about my picks.
I had Annalise, Becca, and Becca with Dark Horse. Caroline didn't do anything, so true Dark Horse. The other three, Annalise, I wish I hadn't have picked. Oh, Sarah, Lauren G. I forgot you picked her.
Oh.
Annalise, Bibiana, Dark Horse, Jenny. So that's two gone for old Sarah Bear.
Oh, Sarah, those are some rough picks.
I
those
had
were ballsy picks.
rough picks.
Andy, you had Crystal still in the
Yeah.
mix. Annalise, Caroline, and Valerie. Did we hear one thing out of Valerie? Did
No.
she say? Yeah.
Nope, she didn't do anything, and she disappeared, and she'll never be heard from again, unless you're going to the Twin Peaks in Nashville, Tennessee.
Please don't go. Let it close down.
Let it close. Go there after a Preds game. I'm sure it'll be. You have a good time.
I have a question for our listeners. We
Live
might just
music
end up
every
doing
night of
it
the week.
Anyway, do you want us to go through? I guess we will maybe the episode before it starts, but I do want to go through the cast of the Winter Games and talk about
Oh,
them,
yeah.
and we'll do some
We'll get
research about them. And then, like, how much do you want to hear about the Winter Games in this? Are people going to be watching it? Should we dedicate like
Yeah.
a good portion of our podcast to it or not?
How much is it going to be? Like an hour? It's during the Olympics, right? The Olympics are what? How many weeks are the Olympics? 3 weeks.
Something like that.
And is it on like nightly? How many episodes are we talking about here? I got a lot of questions.
It's
about...
on Tuesdays, you said, right, Sarah?
I
Okay.
assumed
Probably an
it wouldn't
hour.
be the same schedule that Bachelor in Paradise is on, and it's probably because they don't want to. Everyone has weird, like nothing on during the Olympics. All the other channels,
Right.
so this is their answer to that, right?
Right,
Like that
okay.
you guys have the Olympics, so we're gonna show
Yeah.
this show that
And
I
with the-
probably will watch more than most of the Olympics.
Yeah, and the Olympics, because they're in South Korea, the live events are on at weird hours. So during prime time, they're just going to be airing highlights.
Yeah,
So ABC's got a big opportunity with this show. Maybe get back to some relevancy, erase what everyone thought about Bachelor in Paradise. Maybe retire that franchise for good if this goes well. I don't know. But get back to the
Or
fun
do
and
a
games
Bachelor
of Bachelor
pad.
in Pad.
yeah.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
I say Bachelor in Pad?
You
You
did.
did
I
say
decided
Bachelor in
to whip past it, but
That's professional broadcasting right there. Whip past
Yeah.
those mistakes. There's some people this week we didn't hear much from at all. Like Jacqueline didn't get a date.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
She's the one that looks like Ebony.
Oh,
friend.
Oh
right,
yeah.
Ashley didn't get a date. She somehow survived.
She somehow survived too. Well, they both did, right?
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
both did.
weird.
But that
I like-
happens. Some people
Yeah.
get
We didn't-
forgotten about, and then they're.
We didn't
big
talk a
things.
lot about Brittany post-concussion, but she had a good week.
She had a good week.
She did have a good
strong
week. Yeah, she had a
She
good
got a
week.
little. It's nice. She got a little certificate from Ari.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
A
Oh, I
little
read some-
badge.
Read some stuff on Reddit that Mikkel is racist, so that's
Oh,
bad.
she had posted a picture of her like dressed as like Mexicans, right? Like her
Yeah, and then there was
Mikkel?
one today of a friend of hers around a bunch of like Asian women or something, and she made a very bad comment
Oh, wow.
about that. I think the post was titled "Further Proof That Mikkel is Racist."
Oh, brutal.
Which one's Mikkel?
Mikkel is the one.
She's the blonde, the wedding photographer.
Yeah, the one who came out of the race car.
I feel like there's going to be some issues with that in general. There's something about Crystal, and not necessarily that, but I think she's just not very nice. So I wonder what she'll say to people.
Let us not forget the reality. Steve, when Ari got announced, was like, "This is going to blow up in their face," because
Yeah.
I guess he has tons of dirt on Ari that people have sent him in, but I don't know if that'll surface or not. Probably not.
Yeah, would have surfaced already.
You'd think
Exactly.
Because no one cares now, especially after the first episode. Way less viewers.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Hmm.
It's
We got a
interesting. Well,
friend into it, Tom. I don't know if you're listening to our podcast after you've watched it, but Tom, a friend of ours, Tom Hearn, we got into the Bachelor world because Andy was
lovely stuff.
so passionate about it last night. He had a couple drinks and he was basically yelling at one of our friends happily about the show.
Yeah.
Emily, our friend Emily.
Yeah.
And they were both passionately talking about it, and Tom was just obsessed with the fact that Andy knew so much about The Bachelor and how actual passion he had for it, and he's into it. He's getting in. He's
That's
gonna
great.
catch
That's
up.
how you get fans. You got to show them your passion, and hopefully that passion will become infectious.
Yeah, we all have shows this Friday. So Andy has his first house co at Second City. If you want to see that,
If you're in the Toronto area and you want to come see me perform, you can come every. It's gonna be every Friday from
every
like
Friday
now till the summer.
at the Candy Box.
Yeah, John
just
Candy
look
Box
up the
Theater.
Second City Candy Box. It'll show you how to get in there. It's at the trains. It goes upstairs. And then Glenn and I are going to be at Comedy Bar. My show's that's at 8 o'clock. Mine's at 8 o'clock. I'm doing Catch 23, which is a big improv show, like their main Friday night Comedy Bar brand show. And then their other main show here is Glenn's and Andy's.
Weird Al Karaoke.
That's at like
It's not
10:30.
karaoke. Yeah, it's at 10. It's not karaoke with Weird Al songs, but it's close.
Yeah. So if you wanted to make a night of it and either see me and Glenn at the same venue, which I mean, or head over to.
I'll come to Comedy Bar after my show.
Yeah, he'll come to Comedy Bar.
Yeah, see us all.
See us all. Or go see Andy and then go to Glenn's.
There you go.
As evidenced by that last anecdote, we just love talking about The Bachelor with anyone. So
Yeah.
please do.
And we
that.
can get you a deal on tickets to.
Oh, yeah,
any
big
of
time.
them, so.
For sure.
Let
So
us-
yeah, that does it for this week, I'd say.
Yeah, that feels good. That feels right.
We'll get
Tell
in-
us what you think though about this
Yeah.
Winter Games and
Well,
how much you want to hear
I think
about it.
we'll get into that as it approaches, I'd say. You know what
I
mean?
also just want
Yeah.
to know how much people want to hear
Yeah,
about it.
totally. Yeah, of course.
And let us know how the remix of the theme song is.
I need to hear it.
It's not that different, but it's different.
Someone said to change Liv to Leia.
Oh yeah, I think I did the right thing.
Okay, great. I trust
It's not
you, Glenn.
funny or anything, but
It's fine.
don't worry.
Did
Don't
you
worry.
just include the word "not," like I said?
No,
Not
that's
live.
funny too. Yeah, you'll see. You
Okay.
you guys will see. The fans have already heard it.
That's true.
If you want to contact us, you can reach out to us on social media. We're at The Bachelor Pod on Twitter, and individually, we're at Andy Holbone.
At Glenn McCauley.
At Olivia McCauley.
At the Sarah Hillier, that's at sign THESARAHHILIER.
If you want to support the show directly, you can go to patreon.com/thebachelorpod and donate there. Otherwise, we're thebachelorpod@gmail.com for an email, and thebachelorpod.ca, that's our website.